Welcome to today's Build Together workshop. My name is Nicola. I'm from the team here at Podia. And today we're going to be talking all about how to build your online community in Podia. Podia has community built into every plan. You can offer free or paid community access. You can create spaces that are open for everyone or private. You can create as many different tiers or plans as you like. And you can also include things like products and events inside your plans to give your members a whole lot of value. So there's a lot of different ways you can set things up, and I'm going to show you a few examples today. If you do not have a Podia account yet, you can start a 30-day free trial, and that's going to have everything you need to set up your community. You can even start charging for access and making sales so you can get a lot done in those 30 days. So for today's example, we're actually going to start fresh with a business that does not have a community yet. So it's going to look very plain when I open it up. And we're going to build this out together from scratch so you can see like what every piece looks like. Let's go ahead and head into Podia. Okay, so this is a productivity and organization business. I'm calling this one Blank Canvas Club. And right now, this is a very empty Podia community. There is not much happening here. We need to make this look more like our brand. We need to add a little bit of personality. I'll give you a quick little lay of the land, and then we're going to look at how to customize this. So this view right here is your home feed. This is where you and your members are going to see content come through kind of in real time. So when someone makes a post in your community or makes a comment on a product or shares something, it will come into this home feed area. Now, the cool thing is everyone will have a home feed, but every individual person will only see the content that they have access to. So if I have a VIP plan with some special VIP spaces and there's content being shared there, I'll see it, but the people who don't have a VIP plan, they will not see it. So this home screen is going to be fully customized for each of the members of your community based on what they've bought or what you've given them access to. Now, over in the sidebar, if you choose to have products in your community, you will see the three most recent products that you have accessed. And again, this is updated for each individual member. So if someone signs in and they only have two of my products, they'll just see two things here. Every person is going to see the three most recent products they have looked at. If they do not have any products, then this box will not be here. Same with the events. If you have events in your community that you want your members to sign up for, they will see some upcoming events here that they can click into to join. If you choose not to have events, this box will not be here, but it's just a nice way for people to get that at a glance look at what's happening in your business. Now, over time, the most active contributors, the people who are sharing the most in your community, you can display those people here in a little list, and you can filter this by week, month, and all time. Now, this business doesn't have a community yet, so that's why there's nothing here. You can also choose to turn this off if you do not want that element on this page. So that's an option you've got. Another thing you can add in a minute, which we're going to do, you can add some links that are going to fill in right here, and these links will point people to important resources or other things you want them to know about. We can also add a featured banner and a welcome message, so this will start to look a lot more on brand for me. But before we do that, let's take a look at the different elements in the left sidebar over here. This has been the home feed. Podia communities also come with chat, and chat can be you as the founder. You can chat with your members one-on-one. Your members can chat with each other one-on-one. They can send each other DMs, and you can make group chats for up to 10 people. So if you would like to do like a small cohort and have a running chat with them, you can do that as well. If a member of your community does not want people to chat with them, they have the option to turn their profile to private. And this means that they cannot receive DMs from other community members. They will be able to receive DMs from you as the founder. So that's an option. You also have the option to set everyone's profile to private in your community. And if you chose to do that, it would mean no members can DM each other. It would only be you as the founder to your members, would be like the pathway that people could use to chat. And the chat can be pretty rich here. You can add all kinds of stuff in the chat messages like images, GIFs, videos, files, audio. You can make this a very in-depth experience if you wanted to provide resources or support for people using the chat. The next area we're going to look at is the products tab. If you give people access to products in your community, they're going to show up here. This is also where any products that the person has purchased will show up. So it's all connected into one smooth view. And people can filter the way they see these. They can put them into a list view. They can sort them based on the type of product it is. This is very helpful as your product lineup grows, or if you give people, for example, you're using your community as like a resource library and you want to have 20 products in here, these organizational tools will be very helpful for people staying organized. Now, inside, I'll click into this course. We'll take a look at this really quick. Courses can have all kinds of content in them as well. You can have audios, images, text, and people can, if you choose to have comments turned on, people can leave comments on the course lessons. They can share videos, ask questions. And the cool thing is, because your products and your community are connected and they're all run through the same system, when someone leaves a comment on a course that you have access to, that will also show up in your home feed. So people who've joined for community access and you've also included some courses or products, they can see all the things that are relevant to them in one place. They can respond, they can engage, and it just keeps the whole experience really nice and interconnected for your members. You've also got the option to create events. This can be a in-person event or a virtual event. They can be free or paid, and they can also be multiple days. There's so many different ways you can configure your events. I was running through it in my mind. So this business, I've added an event here. This is going to be a virtual 3-day event, and it is paid. Now, because I am the creator of the community, I'm going to see this already. I already have access to it. But for my members, if they don't have access to it, if they haven't bought it yet, they would see a buy now button where they can purchase this event. But I'm actually thinking I'm going to include this event on some of my higher tiered plans. So I'll show you how that works in just a minute. Now, in your community, you've also got these member cards. This is an area where everyone who's a part of your space can make their own little profile. They can add a bio, they can add social media links and a photo, and you can do the same as well. So if you wanted to add little socials, you can add like a link to your email address and things like that. This is also where people can come to start chats with other members. But remember, everyone has the option to turn their card off if they do not want to be visible on this page, if they do not want people chatting with them. You also, as the creator, have the option to turn this page off altogether. So if you do make that choice, this would be hidden. However, for most communities, that's part of the fun, right? You get to meet people, you get to have conversations. So we do recommend, in most cases, keeping this turned on. Now, the way your community is organized in Podia is through spaces. And the way I like to think about this is if your community is like your house, the spaces are like different rooms, and you can decide who has access to each room. So by default, when you start a brand new Podia account, there are going to be 2 spaces that are already set up for you. They're going to be an announcements space and a general space. By default, these 2 spaces are open to everyone. So anyone who comes into your business, anyone who signs up for a plan or buys a product will be able to see what you post in these spaces. So if I go to announcements and I say, welcome, it's great to have you here. I could just post something like that. I can also add in images, GIFs, videos, files, audios, embeds, buttons, and I can use all these formatting options, but we'll keep it simple for now. And if I post this, we'll click publish. Now everyone in my business will be able to see this announcement. And if I go back to my home feed, look, that came right in here because everyone has access to the announcements area. So everyone's going to have this come through in their home feed. Now, you can make spaces that only certain people have access to. They don't all have to be open for everyone. In fact, that is how you're going to create private areas for people on paid plans or separate groups of your audience. So, we're going to look at how to do that in just a minute. But these two spaces are going to come set up for you when you start Podia for the first time. You can also delete these if you don't want to use them. Now, when I posted this is going to send out a notification to my members that there is a new piece of content. But my members have some control over how they are notified and how often they are notified. So, first, this little notifications area is going to give a high level look at all the notifications that have happened in the business. But each person can click on their little avatar, they can go to their account, and they can change their account notification settings. So this account, just out of the box, has notifications set to instant. Anytime something happens in your community, boom, notification. But each individual person can go through and change this. So I can say, actually, I don't really need to be notified of reactions. I do want to be notified of posts and comments. I can go through and customize this. And I can also say, actually, I would like a roundup email of all the notifications on a certain schedule. So if you have a very active community and you don't want people getting a notification for every single thing, you can choose to do an hourly summary or a daily or even a weekly summary, which is going to be one email with a lovely list with lots of links where people can go click and engage with the posts that they want to look at. You also have the option to turn the notifications fully off. Now, each person in your business can go customize this themselves, but you as the founder can set a default right from the beginning, and everyone who joins will have that setting to start with. So, for example, if I say I want everyone to have a daily summary to start with, they can go in and change this. They can override it. They can say, actually, I want more, I want instant, or they can say, I don't want any, I want it off. But you can choose what you think is the right starting cadence for your group, and that will be enforced for all new members moving forward. You can't retroactively change people's preferences for them because we have to let them make that choice, but you can set this, and anyone new who comes in will be able to will follow the schedule you set until they change it. I'm going to click done here. This is also, again, we're clicked on our little icon down at the bottom here, and we clicked account. This is also where each individual person can change their profile information. So they can put in their name, their photo, their bio. They can add social links. They got lots of options here, an email address, and each person can set their privacy. So they can choose to share their profile with other members or to go private if they do not want to be visible in that members area. Now, this account, this little thing I did here where I clicked on myself and then I clicked account, this is the exact same for your customers. They will also be able to make these changes to their profile and to their notifications. Okay, so that is our little tour of the Podia community. Now we're going to make it look more like our brand. We're going to add some plans and we're going to add some spaces so that you can kind of get a better sense of how all these work. So we are going to click up on our brand name here and we're going to go to the admin area. This is what the admin area looks like in Podia. This is where you'll eventually build out your websites and products and events. But to set up our community, we're actually going to start in the settings. Click this little gear. And the first option we're going to work on here is our brand. This is where we're going to manage our community branding. Now, I've got a name for my business already. I've got a little description I'm going to add in here. I've got my logo added, but this is where you'll add your logo. And now we're going to add an icon. The icon is going to sit right here and replace this little default one. So I'm going to upload one from my computer. This one needs to be kind of small. Yeah, up to 100 KB. So I made a little square in Canva and then I exported it really, really tiny. I turned the resolution way down so it would be small enough. And then the next one is a banner. So the banner image is going to go at the top of the home feed. This is that long, narrow banner up at the top. I'm going to upload mine and I'm going to push save. Okay, I want to show you how what just happened when I did those three things. I'm going to hit refresh. And now I have got a nice home feed banner. And look, my little logo came up over here in Blank Canvas Club, or my icon, excuse me. And also, that took effect up here. If you can see on my tab, there's now a little icon next to the name. So that is already looking so much better. Let's go back to the settings. The next setting we're going to look at is this member notification settings. And I'm going to click edit. Now, for this business, I expect there to be a few posts a day. So I think I'm going to do a daily summary. I think that'll be sufficient. And then people can, of course, change this themselves. I'm going to pick daily summary. So now anyone who joins will get a daily email with all the content that I've shared. And that way they're not overwhelmed, but they can still check in every day and engage. The next area is the theme. And the theme allows you to change the colors, this like little background color area. So you can pick, there's some default themes already added for you. They have some more bold ones. I personally love this one. I love that green color. But I think for this business, this softer blue is going to work better. And if you've added a color palette to your Podia account, you can actually grab your exact brand colors and customize this. So I'm going to make that a little softer blue. I have this kind of denim blue as my feature color, and we'll leave the red and green as is. Okay, let's save that, and we'll refresh again. There we go. So it's subtle, but it is now matching the rest of my website and my brand. The next thing we're going to add is a welcome message. This is going to be a little message that shows at the top of the home feed. And this is going to give you your first point of contact with people when they sign up for the very first time. It can say just like, welcome to my business. Here's what to do first. You can add two buttons to it. So if you want to point people to a certain resource, it's also optional. You don't have to add this, but I find it's quite nice and it looks nice too. So I'm going to add another image. I'm defaulting to square images for most of the stuff I'm making here. Square images look really nice all across your Podia site. So I added a little image and we're going to say, welcome to Blank Canvas. Let me grab my little message here. We're so glad you're here. And then I've got some light instructions. Take a look around, introduce yourself, start organizing. Now, the other thing I could do is link out to any resource or page on my website that I wanted. If I wanted to link to a product or an event, I could do that. I could also link to a blog post or even a coupon if I wanted to say, hey, special deal just for you. You can get a discount on this product. You could do that. You can add your email address. I'm going to keep this one. We'll add an email here. Okay, so that is now saved. That was the welcome message. So let's refresh and see how we're looking. Here we go. So I've got my image and my text. I probably would add a little more text here to make the image the same size as the text, but this is a nice little welcome option that my members will see when they first join, and they can X out of it at any time. And if they click this, it would pull them over to email where they could send me a message. Now back over here, we have got just a few more little options like how your homepage is sorted if you want to show by recent posts or by most active posts. You can also choose to customize your products page. Clicking back in, that's this over here. You've got some choices there if you would like to call it something different like library, or you could call it resources. For this one, I'll call this resources. And I'm going to pick a different icon. You can also choose the layout here and the default sort, like how are we sorted by categories, last viewed by name. And if you can choose whether or not to show categories on your products. Some people use categories so that customers can find products easier. Other people use them internally to organize things behind the scenes. So you've got that option to turn that off. Great, that's updated. Oh, I want to add a few links to my home feed. So we'll refresh. And now look, that changed over here. We have the little shirt and the resources. Now I want to add some links down here. It's going to fill in under my top contributors box. So again, we're in settings, general, and I can click links. We can say quick links. And I could add as many links as I want. You could add links to pretty much anything in your business, really. You could say, like, read the blog. We'll just add two for now. Now we can save those, and I'll show you how that looks. Here are my quick links. So you can add that. You can add resources that you think your customers would want, and that way they can easily go find more of your work. Scrolling on down here, we've got your option to show top contributors or not. You've also got your option here. This is the hide all members choice. If you would like your members area to be hidden to everyone, you can toggle this on and that will set everyone's profile to private. That will mean that your members will not see the members area of the community at all. Now I've got my banner, I've got my welcome message, I've got my quick links. So I think it's time for us to give our people a way to actually join this community. And we're going to do that through plans. So I'm back in my admin area. I'm clicking on plans. Now, right now, there are no plans. We're actually going to set up two plans, but we're going to have three plans because by default, Podia gives you the option to let people join for free. So we don't even have to make a free plan. We can just choose to let people join for free. It'll have a little button, or we can choose not to let them join for free. So if you want to have a free option, you will just have that by default. You can toggle it on or off. So I'm going to make my first paid plan. I clicked new plan. And we're going to call this Organized Friends. This is my first tier here. And it's going to be a lower ticket offer. I'll add a little image here. I've got kind of a Zen garden image here. And this plan is going to come with one product. So I went ahead and added a few products to my business. I'm not planning to sell these products as individual things in this business. They're just part of the community. So I'm going to add the home system starter kit. That's going to come with this plan. And this plan is also going to have its own private space. And you can actually build the space for the plan right here as you're building the plan itself. So I'm going to grab a little icon here. We'll do a little cloud and we'll call this the same thing. Organized Friends. We're going to give it the same image and we'll give it the same description. You can also add things like events if you want, and you can connect multiple spaces to a plan. So if you wanted people on this plan to get 5 spaces, you could do that too. Then we're going to the pricing tab. And I am going to set my price. This plan is $5 a month. And we're going to give like a 5-day free trial. We'll say, yeah, you can try for 5 days, but after that point, it's time to commit to a plan. So the free trial is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And you also can choose to have an annual plan. For this one, I'm just going to leave it as monthly. We'll save it. Then in my availability tab, I'm going to make sure it's open and visible to everyone. That's how I want it set up so that everyone can come and join. Starts immediately. There are no seat limits and there are no access limits. So people can have access as long as they want. If you did want to have a community plan that is limited to a certain number of people or a certain time, you would use these two settings to do that. Or if you wanted to do a program that lasts 1 year and then at the end of the year, they no longer have access, that is how you can enforce that with the duration. So I'm going to push publish. Great, we are all done. And now I've got my first plan, Organized Friends. We're going to make one more plan here. This is going to be my bigger ticket offer. This one's going to be called VIP Organizers. And we'll use a different photo for this one. Just grabbing that. And we're going to grab our description for this plan. Now, one thing that this plan is going to come with is a monthly live call. I'm going to add the link for that call inside their private space, so only those people have access to it. This plan is also going to come with all of my digital products. So, three different products, two downloads, and a course. And it's going to come with access to the virtual summit. So normally people would have to pay for this summit, but if they buy this plan, they get access for free. So this is an incentive for people to get on this plan. And I know they're going to love it and they're going to stick around. So in the long run, I would make more money having someone on a plan than I would from a one-off sale. We also are going to give them their own private space. We're going to use their same image just to keep things cohesive. And let's give them a better icon here. You can choose, there's lots of emojis and stuff too. We'll make them the sunshine. And we'll click save. Again, you can add multiple spaces if you would like. You can add multiple products. You can add multiple events. And then for this one, we're going to charge 15 a month. Or we'll give this one an annual plan. We'll do 150 a year. And there are no free days on this plan. And again, for the availability, we're going to keep everything open and available. No maximum here. We want as many people as possible to join. All right, so those are now published. We have two plans. And when you publish things in Podia, when you publish a product in Podia, Podia automatically generates a sales page for your product using the information you've set up. But when you add plans in Podia, Podia automatically generates a plans page for all of your plans where they're all displayed. We're going to edit that, but let me show you really quick what it looks like by default. So this is a super simple little website I set up for this business. It's just one page. You have the option to add this join button, and this will give me my plans page. So these are the two plans we just built, Organized Friends and VIP Organizers. It says what comes with each one. So you can clearly see, this is the better value. It's got three products and the event. And I have this join for free button here. This is optional. You can turn this off if you do not want to let people join for free, or you can leave it on to let people join for free. Anyone who joins for free will have access to any of the open spaces in your business. So if you remember here, we had announcements in general. Those are open to everyone. That means the people who join for free will be able to see what you post in those two spaces, announcements and general. They will not be able to see what you post in any private or VIP spaces. Okay, so to edit this little plans page, this is the plans page. I'm clicking on plans. And I'm clicked on edit plans page. I see we have a question. How do you turn join for free off? Great question. You read my mind. I just clicked on my plans page and you can toggle that off right there. Now this is admin, settings, general, and we are on the plans page. Yep. If you do not want to let people join for free, you can just toggle that off and that join for free button will not be visible anymore. If you choose to turn that off, people can only join by signing up for a paid plan, or if you let them purchase your products as one-off products, they would get to join that way. We're going to let people join for free today for this business. I can customize my title to my subtitle. I can say choose plan and I can say join for free. You can customize the language here and you can also rearrange the plans on that plans page. And again, that is admin, settings, general, plans page. I was getting all the little help pop-ups. There we go, plans page. So we've got our plans page now. If I go back to my home page, now someone can click join. They can choose their plan, or they can get started for free. See that button updated there. And I do see a great question here. This generic plans page looks very general. Is it possible to create your own plans page, which can be customized? Yes, I'm so glad you asked. We are on the same wavelength today because in just a minute, we're going to go through, I'll show you how you can make kind of your own customized sales page, landing page for your plans. That'll be our last step once we get our spaces all set up. Back to our settings. We're going to go admin, spaces. So here you're going to see those two spaces we added earlier. Remember when we set up plans, we created an organized friends space and a VIP organizers space. And those spaces are now here in our spaces area, so we can edit them. You can come in here and hit the pencil to edit them. Now, in this business, I don't really think we need general and announcements. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. I'm just going to delete it. And instead of announcements, I want this to be more of like a discussion area for everyone because I do have the free option, so there will be some free people coming in. Well, think I'm going to just call this Let's Chat. And I'm going to give this, see what we have here. Maybe I'll make the little wave hand. And we're going to give it a cover photo as well. And we'll say, let's talk about ways to stay organized and share our best wins and tips. Whoops. So now this by default is available for all members. So that includes anyone who buys a paid plan, anyone who joins for free, anyone who buys a product, anyone who comes into my business in any pathway that I've allowed people into my business. They can all see Let's Chat. They can have conversations. They can get to know one another. If I wanted to make this only for certain people, you can choose only specific members. And then this space could be only for people with a certain plan, only for people with certain products, only for people with certain events, and so forth. Even you could just pick individual members if you wanted. So, some ways we see people use this: if you have a course and you want to give your students a course discussion area, you could say, okay, this space is only for people who have bought this course. Then someone buys the course, they have the course in their community and the space, and any spaces that are set to open for everyone. They'll see all that. Same with events. If you have an event you want to give people a discussion area, you can do that as well. But we're going to make this for everyone because this is my kind of open discussion forum. Now I can set it to where when someone joins, they automatically follow the space, they automatically get notifications, they automatically are part of that discussion. Or I can choose to not make it so they're automatically following, which means they will have to find the space and opt in. In the community, the way that looks, let me refresh this. There we go. So here are all the spaces we've added. If you choose not to make it followed by default, then they would have to come here and they could follow or unfollow the spaces that they wanted to follow. I'm going to leave this toggled on. Most of the time, you're going to want to leave this followed on just so members don't get lost. But there are times where you maybe want to make like an optional space that people can just choose to follow if they want. You can also lock it so people cannot unfollow the space. Again, I'm going to let people have that option. If they do not want to be part of the chat, they can remove that space. You also have some customizations here. You can choose if you want to show the follower count. You can choose who can make new posts. So if everyone's allowed to post in the space or only you as the founder, you can choose that. And you can also choose notifications here. If you choose no posts, then no new notifications will go out for this particular space. So that's all looking good. And so you'll see here this at a glance. This is open. That means everyone can see this one. And only the people who are in Organized Friends can see this one. Only VIP organizers can see this one. Okay, here's how that's looking in our community itself. We've got our home feed. Then everyone in my business can see Let's Chat. People who buy the Organized Friends plan can see Organized Friends. People who buy VIP organizers can see VIP organizers. Oh, and remember, I was going to add a monthly Zoom call that's only for these people. So what I would do for that, monthly Zoom link, I would just post that right here in this space. And only the people who are in VIP organizers would see this link. Everyone who is in VIP organizers will have that Zoom link available to them. And you could even pin this up to the top of the page, pin it to the space. There. So now it's nice and easy for everyone to find. No one else is going to see that link unless they've bought access to this plan. Okay, the last little place we're going to go on our tour is over to the website. We're going to add our community plans onto our website so that it's a little easier to find. Right now, the only way someone could join this community is by clicking here, but we want to make it a little more obvious. So I'm going to go to the website builder. And my website right now, again, is just this homepage. Like we are a one-page website, super simple. You can learn about the business and you can join the business. That's all I've got here. So I want to add the community options to my homepage. And I'm going to do that by clicking this little plus sign. Now, this is going to pull up a bunch of different website sections in your Podia account. We're going to choose community. And this is going to give me some options I can pull from. I can do like individual little cards, but I'm going to do this column layout here. Okay, this is showing me everything that's included in each one. I think I'm going to change this layout. So what I'm doing, I'm clicking design and I'm going to click the arrangement. I'm going to change it to rows and I'm going to put my image beside my text and make the image a little bit smaller. Here, we'll make that. Yeah, we're going to make this image a bit smaller. Okay, still not quite what I'm going for. Let me do that's more what I'm going for. Okay, so what I did to get that layout, I went down and I chose split. Split is going to put your image all the way to the top and bottom of a card and put all your plan information on a card. Okay, we're going to give that a lighter background color. And now on the content side, I've got some options here. You can also choose if you want to show all the plans or just specific plans. And you can toggle on certain details, like if you don't need to show, maybe if we said, okay, I don't need to show that, or I don't need to show that, you can toggle things on and off. We'll just leave everything on. And now on my website, I have got this nice little module that's a little bit more designed than that general join button. Now, what you could do if you wanted to expand on this further, you can actually make a whole new website page for your community if you want. You can click new page, and then you're going to do that exact same step. You're going to click this plus sign, click community, and that'll pull in all the plan details and plan information for you. And here's the cool thing. This is all hooked up for you behind the scenes. So if I'm going here and I want to choose this plan, that's pulling me all the way into the Podia checkout. That's all set up behind the scenes. Like we just published this together live. I didn't have to do any extra checkout steps to make this work because everything's connected, which makes it so easy. Last thing I want to show you is kind of how you could then use this in your community. In this space, we've got this VIP area here and we've got this organized friends area. These are paid access. So you do want to make these really valuable in order to keep people coming back. So some ways you can do that. You can actually add exclusive content to each space, and only the people in that space will be able to access it. So I can do images, GIFs, videos, files, embeds. I'm going to add a video actually. You can also choose to share a download link with your video if you want to let people download it themselves. You can add a custom thumbnail, and you can even upload VTT files if you would like to show captions. We're going to insert this video. Extra content for my VIP members. And we'll give that a minute to process. But this is just an example of how you can provide a lot of value in these spaces. Even if you're choosing not to use products in your business, you can still provide like resources here. You can share links to ebooks, you can create videos or infographics, really anything you want in these posts. I'll click publish here so you can see how that comes through. And then we've got this nice little video for my members. And only the people in VIP organizers will be able to see this content. Now let's give organized friends some love. I've got one last post here to share. We are going to share some ideas for what you can post in your community. A few things that go really well when you're first getting started and you want to get some conversations going. Introduce yourself. An introductions thread is great. Let people say who they are, what they're all about, why you can share why you started the community, and you can ask others why they're interested in joining. You can do some icebreaker questions. You can ask them what they're hoping to learn or something relevant, and kind of you could say, what's your biggest decluttering fail or something like that to just break the ice with people. You can post quick wins or tips. This is so valuable because you can really help someone just with a little piece of advice or a case study or something you've learned can make a huge difference to them. You can also set up like a recurring monthly check-in, Friday wins, Tip Tuesday, and you can actually schedule those out. You can make posts scheduled for a future date. So if you wanted to do like every month, you do a certain post on a certain day, you can actually schedule that out well in advance. Sharing behind the scenes, things you're working on always goes over well. And of course, you can always ask your members for their feedback. What do they want more of? What do they want to learn from you? That can be a great way to just get conversations going. And I'll publish that here. Okay, so that takes us to the end of our tour. Right now, we've got a community up and running. We have got a home page with ways for people to join. When people do join, they get access to some public spaces and some private VIP spaces, and they get access to resources and events on each plan. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out today and sharing your thoughts. I'm really excited to see all of the great communities that you build. Please remember to share what you're working on in the Podia community. We have an I Made This section where you can share your community when it's live, and we can't wait to see what you make. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming today.